Hi, Victoria Maurer.
I'm Cherry Berry.
And we are from the Valley School, and currently we are taking Mr. Squire's U.S. History course. And we were given a project, our first semester project, to pick out a topic in the book, The American Pageant Volume 1, by David M. Kennedy, Elizabeth Cohen, and Thomas A. Bailey, about something that stood out to us significantly throughout history. And today we want to talk about the butterfly effect and how it pretty much changes history and makes stuff happen. So, what is the butterfly effect, Sherry?
The butterfly effect is a meteorology term. Basically, it talks about a story that a very, very small, beautiful butterfly in the Amazon forest, when it flaps its wings, it actually causes a tsunami far away 3 days later. So it's really about how this small, insignificant butterfly can change the weather. Originally, it was used to illustrate how it's impossible to predict weather. Well, it's not. Yes. Okay. Today, we're going to use this term in history and talk about.
Well, we just found examples throughout the book that we want to discuss with you today. So, yeah.
In 1692, 3 adolescent girls went to tell people that they were bewitched, thus starting the Salem witch trials. During that time, many people were killed and people went crazy about stating this person was a witch and all that crap. They even hung puppies! Anyway, basically, if you see someone who's wearing black and who does not seem to be Christian, just like me, so people kept on killing people and hanging puppies until one day.
Yes. I see they have executed all of these witches. How fantastic.
Husband, they think I'm a witch. They're gonna execute me.
Psst, who cares?
Well, as governor, you could forbid them from killing me.
But that takes so much work.
But if they think I'm a witch, then they'll suspect you too.
No.
This is how the witch hunt ended. Even though the governor was dying to get a new wife who's much younger and prettier than the current one, he had to think for his reputation, his social prestige, and all the good stuff. So, even though the decision is not necessarily what he wanted to make, it still has an effect. So this is another perfect example of how a very small decision of a very insignificant person, I don't even know his name, of a very, very insignificant person and have a huge historical effect. What was the effect? 20 years later, a legislation came out stating that you cannot use superstitious proofs, aka lying, in court. You can only use science.
Another example of the butterfly effect would be when the English and the Spanish went to a little mini war, I guess you could call it, and the English were known as sea dogs, and to promote Protestantism, they decided to seize Spanish ships for treasure, even though they were technically at peace with one another. Attempts at English colonization in the Americas desperately failed, leaving them behind against the Spanish. So that was another contrast between the two that caused so many disputes. And the most famous one was Roanoke Island, that Sir Walter Raleigh discovered, and they mysteriously vanished. So with all the disputes between the English and the Spanish trying to become the best, Philip II of Spain decided to create an invisible armada to attack English ships without them even knowing. Now, the English Armada was very small and not powerful, so it would seem to be that they would lose in this battle, but with the butterfly effect we talked earlier, the weather that day, the winds, made this English Armada, it blew just right so that they could win. And this ended imperialism for the English colonies, which was a major, major impact on history. With all the examples that Cherry and I have talked about in this video, it shows how the butterfly effect really does impact history. Just one simple thing can completely change the course, and if those things were not to happen, then, well, maybe history wouldn't have been the way it is today, but you can honestly never know.
So, the Protestant wind helped the pirates fight a well-trained Spanish armada, which was literally impossible, and it actually started a prosperous British dominance overseas, and thus setting up a background for the development of the United States. And in case of the witch hunt, the government ended this craziness for his own interest. But what he actually did is ending this religious cult and asking for scientific proofs in the court. So you can see that really small, insignificant incidents can have a huge impact in history. And what we're trying to say today is that history consists of huge accidents. So because these accidents can be so insignificant as it seems, and small, and it could be like made by any person, it really means that you and me and like everyone can just make a huge impact in history without even noticing it. So what we're trying to say here is one person can change the history, and hopefully we're giving a little motivation of changing the world. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed our video.